Thank you very much for joining us. On behalf of American University, it is a pleasure to introduce the Dean of the School of Public Affairs, Allison Jachnowitz, who will welcome us and start the introductions. Thank you.
Welcome everyone to American University. I am pleased to open the Climate Risk and Insurance, Improving Equity, Enhancing Resilience, and Stabilizing Markets Conference. I am also thrilled that the School of Public Affairs has taken such a large role in planning this conference and thinking about sustainability. Drought, flooding, and wildfires are increasing substantially, demonstrating the need for better and proactive planning, regulation of home construction and industry in weather risk areas, and help for people who need to move from vulnerable areas but cannot afford to do so. The White House last year assessed that by 2100, climate damages to the U.S. economy could cost between 3 and 10% of the nation's gross domestic product per year. We have already seen wildfire damages in California in 2017 and 2018 cost the state some 26 years worth of insurance company profits. As Hurricane Idalia hit Florida, the state government was trying to deal with the state's insurance crisis. But how long can companies and government insurers of last resort afford to continue insuring hurricane-vulnerable homes without going bankrupt? Insurance companies and their government regulators are on the front lines of climate change, and this conference hopes to help us all better understand how to address this emerging problem before it reaches crisis levels. To address issues of sustainability more broadly, the School of Public Affairs and the Kogod School of Business have launched a collaboration, which I'm excited to announce includes a joint named faculty chair in sustainability, being hired by a committee from both schools. Speaking of Kogod, I am now introduce Ayman Omar, Associate Dean for Graduate Programs and Student Services at Kogod, to also inaugurate this conference. Our AU partners from the Washington College of Law will open the sessions tomorrow. After Dr. Omar, conference co-organizer Todd Eisenstadt, who is the research director of the Center for Environmental Policy and a professor of government, will briefly thank the many colleagues at AU, the Environmental Defense Fund, and the SBB who have made this conference possible.
Thank you very much, Dean Jachnowitz, and good morning, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well. My name is Ayman Omar. I'm the Associate Dean of Graduate Programs at the Kogod School of Business, and along with Dean Jachnowitz, it's my pleasure to welcome you to American University. Just wanted to start off also by thanking all of the co-organizers, SBP, EDF, and SPA, of course. Just wanted to thank you and of course our sponsors. I wanted to thank you for being here, but also for being engaged in such a critical issue and matter that we're all facing. To add more to the depressing stats that Dean Jachnowitz just added, but just to underscore how important this issue is. And again, I'm sure everybody's very, very aware with those stats, but over the last 20 years, we've lost 1.2 million lives based on this issue. 1.2 million, that's twice the population of the District of Columbia. And the disturbing part is those events and those frequencies are continuing to grow and even getting closer and increasing in magnitude. Hurricane Harvey happened in 2017, and at that point, it was an event that was considered as once in 100 years. Now everybody has reconsidered that, and maybe it's once in 33 years. So even as we start assessing the probability and the impact of those events, that's changing on a continuous basis. And it's a very, very tough and a complex problem to address by all of us, by all entities, by all stakeholders. So as a good student, I went to ChatGPT to find the answer last night. And interestingly enough, there is no answer. Right? And it's our responsibility as all stakeholders to walk down this line and start pushing for some of those very complicated, very complex issues, but very timely, timeless, and extremely important for us. And as Dean Jachnowitz mentioned, it's not something that it's a responsibility of one entity. It's a multidisciplinary issue that needs the involvement of all stakeholders, whether it's multiple schools within one university, but also multiple stakeholders from society, from government, from NGOs, non-for-profit organizations, the private sector, just all of those entities in place. And I think we're very, very excited to have a lot of this representation in this room. So looking forward to hearing from all of the important sessions, the engaging sessions, and looking forward to learning from all of you. Welcome to this important conference. And with that, would like to turn it over to Professor Todd Eisenstadt, who is the Research Director for the Center for Environmental Policy at SBA. Thank you.
Thanks. It's wonderful to see all of you and to be here for this engagement between academic researchers, policy practitioners, and insurance companies, and also other stakeholders affected by a lot of the issues that have been raised already. Mostly what I want to do this morning is just to thank a range of people and organizations for their participation even before we start, because without all of you, it would not have been possible to organize this conference. I think some of the people who I'm going to mention are in the room. I hope you are. First of all, just at American University, to thank Dean Jachnowitz in SPA, to thank the School of Public Affairs Center for Environmental Policy Director Dan Fiorino, who is here. Also Danielle Wagner, the Program Director at the CEP. To thank Lisa Manning, Stephen Esposito, Che Rao, and Natasha Abel, some of whom will be here, I think, later. To thank the Washington School of Law, where we are meeting this morning. Ingrid Lesseman, I believe, is here. Also to thank Courtney Watson, to thank Assistant Dean Bill Snape, who you'll hear from tomorrow, to thank Tess Safar, who helped organize this, to thank also at the Kogod School of Business, Ayman Omar, who you just heard from, as well as Parthaban David and David Marchik, the Dean of the Kogod School, who also helped us bring this together, as well as Izir Chima. So thank you to them. Thank you also to Dana Fisher, the Director of the Center for Environment, Community, and Equity, who is with us this morning. Also at the Environmental Defense Fund, we want to thank Carolyn Kowski, of course, for her leadership in organizing this entire conference. And also from the Board of Directors at CEP, and who is at EDF, Tom Murray, who I believe is going to be with us later. And at SBP, we wish to thank Helen Wiley, who is here. Also Anya Conlin, Tessa Barron. We thank you very much for your work on this. Excuse me if I'm leaving anyone out. It's an extensive list, and I'm sure there are more people to thank, and I hope others do so as we move forward. So thank you again, and it's a pleasure to be here and to now introduce Helen Wiley of SBP and Carolyn Kowski of EDF, who are going to talk about the themes that we'll be addressing in the conference.